make your medal stand.
The claw just misses out. Jen is right. Clippers averted disaster thanks to Kawhi and Luke Kennard making his first real contribution to the Clippers in 2 months. But speaking of contributions in months, first one, how about the Rockets? They get a win. 20-game losing streak. Oh. Finito. Jay-Sean Tate. You might say, who's Jay-Sean Tate? And I would say, yeah, he plays for the Rockets. You might say, does 22-6-5 really get you on the podium? And I would say, well, if you're snapping a 20-game losing streak, it does. The Raptors are a total, absolute mess. The Rockets finally snapped their losing streak. That, started after James Harden burnt the team down. All right, silver medal. Ja Morant. Oh, look at Ja. 29, 5, and 9 in a win over the... Can we just call them this? The just terribly underachieving, disappointing, disastrous Celtics. I know the Celtics didn't have Jason Tatum last night, but Jeff Teague played great. You still couldn't beat Memphis because Ja Morant gave it to you all game long. And the gold medalist. Oh, don't say I don't give the Staples Tower credit. Now, right when I gave Rudy Gobert his gold for an almost triple-double with blocks, I did happen to see a Chris Mannix tweet that made me want to rescind the gold when Chris Mannix asked America, when do we start putting Rudy Gobert in the MVP conversation? I have an answer for you, Mannix. Never, ever in his lifetime or yours. But he is in the gold medal conversation for last night, almost with a triple-double with blocks. So there it is. There are your medalists from last night. A rather eclectic group of Jay-Sean Tate, Ja Morant, and Rudy Gobert.
All right, Wilds, who did not make the cut?
Oh, the rare bench missed the cut. Giannis, his little knee injury. We're like, uh-oh, is Giannis going to be okay? I hope he's all right. Oh, he's fine. Expert at body languages. His quest for 3 MVPs are still alive and well. Hit this one. Giannis, he falls asleep. Where is Giannis? There he is. Oh, he has one where he falls asleep. Here it's coming up.
There he is.
There it is. Oh, great shot. Right to sleep. I'm out. Great body language. He feels fine.
Giannis, slow down, buddy.
All right, from Giannis to Russ.
Next year.
Russ still lobbying for them to bring AB out there to Seattle. Would that move smooth over a tumultuous offseason for Seattle and for their quarterback? We'll discuss next. First things first. Back here, time for But First. Kevin, you didn't quite love this move from Dodgers fans.
Well, you know what, Jenna? Got to be the change you want to see.
No, I'm not getting it wrong this time.
And I've decided, it's okay. I've decided to take Alex Soto at his word. He is the president of Pantone 294, and he said, "Hey, yeah, we put a billboard up right outside Fenway Park, thanking the Red Sox for Mookie Betts, but it wasn't meant to be a troll job." I said, "Okay, never meant it to be trash talk. It was an honest thank you message." I love Boston. It's a beautiful city. Maybe when I'm old, I can buy a house out here to retire. Odd choice, especially if you're from LA, to go to the Northeast to retire. But you know what? I'm going to take you on your word, and it's probably good for the New England economy, the billboard economy. So it's okay. I don't consider it trash talk or troll. It's an honest thank you message.
Guys, I know you worry about my evenings. I was up all night last night worried about Theo Maledon, the Frenchman, the rookie from Oklahoma City. He had a brutal night last night against the T-Wolves. It was awful.
He fell down.
He had 2 wide open dunks that he botched and then a turnover, all in the same sequence. Now, I could come out here and crush him because it was truly terrible. He may not play in the NBA again. I don't know, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a page out of Kevin Wilde's playbook. My glass is going to be half full. I'm going to pluck the positive. After that first botched dunk, he could have been like, tonight's not my night. Tonight's not my night. I'll fade into the background. Goes up for a second one, misses the second one. He could have said, you know what? That's 0 for 2. I am not doing this again. No, he dives back in a third time around, then he turns the ball over and he's like, you know what? Really not my night. And at that point, I agree with you, because if at first you do not succeed, you got to try again. If at second time you don't succeed, try one more time. By the third time, just give it up. It's really embarrassing for everybody. So Theo Maledon, as they would say in France, tough night for you, but I'm happy for you.
Elgin Baylor passed yesterday, and I just want to take this opportunity to speak on one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. You've probably heard some things about Elgin Baylor. The greatest player ever without a ring. That's true. Averaged 38 points per game one season. That's also true. You might even have heard yesterday, Did Elgin Baylor invent the Euro step? There it is right there, 60 years before Manu, or 40 years before Manu. He probably did actually invent the Euro step. But that only scratches the surface of what this man contributed to the league. Before Kareem Abdul-Jabbar walked in the league, the 5 men that helped build it are Russell, Wilt, Oscar, Jerry, and Elgin. In NBA history, only Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain averaged more career points per game than Elgin Baylor. He only had 11 healthy seasons. He was first-team All-NBA, 10 of them. Context, only LeBron, Kobe, and Karl Malone have more first-team All-NBA's lifetime than Elgin Baylor, who, again, only played 11 healthy years. He also obviously was a groundbreaking NBA general manager, part of the league for the better part of 65 years. Rest in peace to one of the all-time greats, Elgin Baylor.
Well said, Nick.
So good.
All right, we are going to move on now. We'll draw in a blank. We got to start with the Heisman winner, Devontae Smith. Alabama Pro Day is today. Smith has chosen not to work out, but he did take height and weight measurements, and get this, he weighed in at 170 pounds. He said, though, I am not worried at all. So, Brandon, Devontae Smith saying his stature is not a problem is blank.
It's Heisman-like. It's confidence. It's swagger. It's exactly what you want on your team. Look, Marvin Harrison, small dude, came in light, but he ended with almost 15,000 yards and a Hall of Fame gold jacket. You go to Deshaun Jackson, 10,000 receiving yards. T.Y. Hilton, 9,000 receiving yards. Santana Moss, 10,000 receiving yards. And Tyler Lockett, the last 2 years, small guy, almost similar body types. And this dude had 1,000 yards receiving the last 2 years. You got Hollywood Brown the last 2 years ago. He comes in light. You got Robbie Anderson, who's playing lights out right now down in Carolina. So I don't want to hear about, weight and size. This dude is the Heisman Trophy winner at the wide receiver position. 1,800 yards, please, Nick. And now the money's going to be a little different. He'll be eating filet mignons for the rest of his life. So he'll probably put on 10 pounds before the season starts.
Well, I like that. I like that idea, but I'm a little concerned. To me, this is precedent setting. He is trying to become the first modern era great receiver to be this tall and this thin. The list of guys who are at least 6 feet tall and at the combine were 175 or below. I think the most accomplished of them all in the last 20 years is Todd Pinkston. It's Snoop Minnis is on that list, and a bunch of guys who never made the league are on that list. So it's concerning to me the same way it was concerning to me when Kyler was coming out of school, because he was trying to become the shortest quarterback ever to be great. Maybe you're like, oh, what about Doug Flutie? Doug Flutie was never great, no matter what Jenna's childhood room would tell you via posters. He was not. And so I'm just concerned about Devontae Smith. I root for him. I'm not saying he can't do it, but he will be precedent-setting wilds, and that would concern me if I was a team in the draft looking for a #1 receiver.
Doug Flutie.
See, that's what I'm interested in, Nick. Does he fall at all because of this weight measurement? I don't know, but I could see him dropping a little bit. I'll give you one more name, Brandon, your old House of Athlete podcast friend. I am athlete. I'm sorry about that. Ocho Cinco said, hey, I played